What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. To focus in on the Pittsburgh Penguins losing Evgeni Malkin for 6 to 8 weeks due to an upper body injury. He left the Friday night game against the Blue Jackets after a collision with Dalton Prout, and now is out 6 to 8 weeks. Definitely not the most ideal situation for the Penguins, who are pretty much holding on to a playoff spot by the skin of their teeth. I know they're in the number one wild card spot. They're a point up on Detroit. But they've got the in-state rival Philadelphia Flyers right there with 75 points, and even Carolina. I think had they gotten the extra point today against Buffalo, they would have been at 75 as well, and that would have been even more interesting. But this is just one of those teams that they have all the high. What happened? Try to figure the best way to word this. A lot of high-end talent, but there's no depth. Their weaknesses are depth. And when you lose one of your high-end guys, it's tough to replace them, as opposed to, certain teams, whether it's the Rangers or, even Detroit to a certain degree, they're predicated upon having 3-4 lines that are pretty consistent. So with Pittsburgh having, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Kessel, and Fleury eating up so much of their cap space, they've had to cut corners elsewhere in the lineup, and that's just the reality of it. Definitely a tough situation for the Penguins, but if Sidney Crosby can continue his pretty torrid pace, which after he was dead in the water a few weeks ago, then they're not dead. They'll make the playoffs. If Malkin comes back in 6 weeks, you're looking at right smack in the middle of round one. If the playoffs started today, the Penguins would draw the Boston Bruins. Actually, I like the Bruins in that possible matchup. If they slip and they end up drawing Washington, they're screwed with or without Malkin. I know they've beaten Washington in the playoffs in the past, but 2009 was 7 years ago, guys. So, the Sid Ovi storyline would be interesting. But, let's look at the reality of it with Malkin out for, a good portion of it, potentially. So, we'll see what happens. The Eastern Conference playoff picture just got a lot more interesting. They went from potentially being in a spot where they could push the Islanders for that number 3 Metropolitan Division spot and duck the Bruins or Capitals, to having to fend off Detroit, Philly, and Carolina for that, there's 4 teams, 2 spots. So we'll see how it all shakes up. Definitely a tough situation for the Pens, but we'll see if the players, coaching staff, and the front office really can't do anything because it's after the trade deadline, but if the players and the coaching staff can dig down deep and find a way to make it. But, Geno having a phenomenal year. 58 points. Numbers are down by his standards, but as of late, his play has been amazing. And he's a catalyst when Crosby was struggling. He's always going to be one of their top 2 players. So definitely a tough blow for the Pens. But we'll see how the team recovers, if they recover. Anyway, that's all I got. This episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.